Welcome to part 49, and we are now inside Ganon's castle. The main gimmick with the first part of this place is there is a central tower that we need to climb, but currently the way upward is protected by a force field. Now, in order to disable this force field, we have to go through 6 areas, and each one of them is reminiscent of the sage medallions that we've collected throughout the game. So it's a good chance that each one of these rooms contains remnants of the temples. So yeah. So right now we are on the forest pathway. And basically the gimmick here is to get through the sealed door, we need to pretty much lit all 5 of these torches. 1 is above the door and 4 is on, well, I'm currently surrounded by 4. So just take a light fire arrow and shoot the one above the sealed door, and then quickly use Dense Fire to light the rest, and it should unseal the door. So yeah, this dungeon here, this final dungeon here will test your abilities. It will pretty much remember, you pretty much have to remember everything that you did in all the temples, because yeah. Anyway, this room right here, another silver rupee puzzle. And basically the gimmick here is that silver rupees are hovering above some pillars. There's a bottomless pit right there, and there are 4 fans. You know, those same fans that we encountered in the Shadow Temple. So yeah. Basically, you just use the Song of Time to bring a time block here so you can get your first one. And then, of course, when the fan starts blowing, switch to your hover boots so it will carry you to right here. And as you notice, we cannot grab that silver rupee at present. So, but we will in a minute. And of course, there's a Beamos on one of these pillars right here that we need to destroy. So again, just toss a bomb and yeah, there it goes. Alright. Now that switch right there on one of these pillars, you can either use the Beamos platform and get to that silver rupee and then just fall down there, or you can switch to the hover boots and just go on and walk over to it like I'm about to do. Alright, and when we step on the switch right here, this hookshot target thing will appear, and we can long shot up to it, and basically it will provide the extra boost we need to get that silver rupee. And then from this point forward, we can grab the rest, no problem. It's just a matter of going back and forth between platforms. Of course, hover boots will help, but be careful. Again, these things have no traction. You might overshoot a platform and accidentally fall into the abyss. And here's the thing, folks. If you fall before you collect every silver rupee in this room, you will have to do the whole thing over. You will have to gather them from scratch. And we do not want that because we'll be here for a while. And of course, the last one's on top of that pillar that's right in front of a fan. So you just have to wait until that fan stops blowing before gathering it, or else you'll be blown across the room. Alright, when we get the last one, the door will unseal, and we are moving onwards. In this next room that we are going to go to, there will be one of the 6 evil barrier seals. Basically, this is the forest seal right here. And our goal here is to take our light arrows, shoot the forest seal with one of them, and that will pretty much weaken it long enough for one of the corresponding sages to appear and dispel the barrier, or at least that portion of the barrier. Hi, Saria. Alright, and then after the sage dispels the barrier, they will send Link all the way back to the hub of the castle, back to the beginning, you know, where the tower is. So you don't have to backtrack all the way. That's nice of the sages. Alright, and the forest barrier is gone. And we're going to move on to our next room. The path to the water barrier. Now, this place is actually reminiscent of the ice cavern than the water temple. And to me, I don't mind. I don't mind this because, again, the water temple can be a headache. And imagine having to come into this place and, well, having to play notes to change the water level and who knows what else. But because this place is reminiscent of the ice cavern, we are back to having blue flames and red ice and slip and sliding everywhere. So you have to sacrifice one of your bottles and to get the blue fire to melt the red ice so we can get this. Oh, and one of those chests right here is one of those booby trap chests that I've mentioned earlier. Open it and you will freeze and lose hearts in the process. So that's fun. Don't open it. Now, of course, before entering the next room, go ahead and get one more bottle of blue ice. And, yeah. Now, the next room we are going to be in, it will be timed, which means we only have 2 minutes to solve the puzzle before time runs out and we lose some health, and that's not good. Basically, there are these ice blocks here, and what we're going to do here is take the one I am at right now and use it to plug in the hole right here, and then go to the other one, and we have to get to this area where the the red ice is located, and we have to use the blue fire to melt the red ice. And once we do that, we have to use the Megaton Hammer to step on a switch to unseal the door. Now, the thing is, though, once we manage to solve the puzzle, and once we manage to unseal the door, the timer will still go. It'll still be counting down, so this means we have to get out of the room before time runs out, or else we will lose a heart and start all over. Yeah, so, and they don't give you that usual Zelda jingle, meaning you solve the puzzle, move on. No, this last dungeon, it's gonna be cruel. Well, I mean, it did that, for example, but the timer will still be going, see? That means we have to get out of here despite our solving the puzzle. And this pot right here, it contains a pink fairy, so we can use it to refill our bottle. Isn't that nice of them? Well, that's it. Through this door right here that we're going to go through, it will contain the water barrier. Even though this area was pretty much ice cavern-esque. So, but hey, again, better than having to raise water levels or other things. So yeah. Of course, pots will usually contain some things to help you. Like sometimes it will contain magic jars, sometimes it will contain arrows, sometimes it contains hearts or rupees or whatever. Anyway, the water barrier has been dispelled. Hi, Rudo. And of course, you'll be sent back to the main room. And notice that each time I shoot one of these arrows, the arrow in question like stays put, even when the sage appears. And I think it's a graphical glitch. It doesn't really hurt them. I mean, sometimes you can see the arrow through them, and it looks kind of weird. Yeah. Anyway, the next barrier we're going to take care of is the shadow barrier. Now, here, the gimmick with this whole room is that we need to cross the this bombless pit area. And the first stage you want to do is use your long shot to hook this chest right here. And then, of course, it only contains 5 rupees, if you want to know. So, Now, first thing you want to do here is kill that green bubble, because it can be a real annoyance what we're going to do right here. There you go. See how across the gap there is a unlit torch, and when we light it with fire arrows, these platforms will temporarily appear, and we need to use those to cross the gap into the first solid platform before time runs out. So that's always nice. And of course, you gotta be careful to aim it carefully. Now, the hover boots will help tremendously, because you can just run across the gap, run. And when we get to this platform here with the well, let's kill it first so it won't bother us. And again, folks, the like does not like the mirror shield. It hates it. It gives it indigestion. So, yeah. But still, one quick swipe with the Biggoron sword and this thing is dead. Goody. Now we're going to have to cross over into the next major platform. And, of course, that means once again we have to shoot the fire arrow and at the unlit torch to bring those platforms back. Yeah, that's pretty much the gimmick here. Bringing back these platforms here, summoning them. I can't talk. It's late. I'm a little tired, but hey, I'm going to do this thing for you. I'm going to ensure that you get through this section without dying. Now, of course, it would help if I were to aim correctly, because each time you shoot, you lose arrows and magic energy. Yeah, I'm a crappy shot. And there we go. So yeah, let's go over to this gap right here and go across carefully. Oh. And you can see right down there to the right, there's a switch that we need to step on. And of course, to make it a little easier, we need to bring those platforms back. So here's what we're going to do. Next to the door is another unlit torch, and by shooting that one, it will pretty much bring those platforms back. It's pretty much a closer thing. It's pretty much a closer unlit torch to summon the platforms, because yeah. Again. Finally. Alright, so let's carefully make our way down this pathway right here. Make sure not to fall off. Alright, and by stepping on the switch, it will bring down a big treasure chest. This is the treasure of our final dungeon. Yeah, this one has the treasure too. Yeah, it has no compass, it has no dungeon map, but it has a treasure chest, the big one. And what is this big treasure chest right here? Well, we're about to find out. Behold the golden gauntlets! Now we can have more power surging through our hands. And we will use them in just a moment. Alright. Now, there is on a pillar a rusted switch that we need to get over to. However, as you noticed before I whipped out the Lens of Truth, it looks like there's no way to get there. I mean, lighting the torches will not create platforms. But when we use the Lens of Truth, we can create this pathway here, or see this pathway to the rusted switch. So, yeah, I thought that's nice. Anyway, smashing it will unseal the door, and we can finally leave this room. And then, of course, we have to make our way back and use another invisible platform in order to cross the gap and leave this room. And yes, I am taking my sweet old time here. I mean, imagine having to go through all that, solving the puzzles, and then at the last leg, fall down to the bottomless abyss because we have to rush it. You may call me a pansy for doing this, but hey, I'm the tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race. I mean, look how narrow this pathway is. One accidental tilt of my controller and down I go. So, I know I'm wasting energy on my magic, but hey, I'll get some back. Anyway, we are now in the room with the shadow barrier, and once again we have to shoot it with a light arrow. So, yeah, I'm trying to think what Ganondorf's logic is. I mean, he knows that Link is coming, so he prepares a bunch of rooms that contain remnants of Impa, that contains remnants of the temples that Link's visited in his adulthood, and, like, I mean, he thinks Link will never get past it. He will never break the barrier. And, I mean, I can imagine his thinking like,
so the hero of time is coming. Well, I'll prepare a little surprise for him. Here, let me see here. Put a little sports temple right here. Shadow temple right here. Sprinkle in a little ice cavern. Ha 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 ha! He'll never get through. Never! Ha ha!
Now, of course I'm going to get through, because I'm the hero of time. I have faced dangers and conquered them. So, yeah. Anyway, in this room right here, make sure you put on the fire tunic so that you'll be protected from the heat. Now, here we have yet another silver rupee puzzle. Are you tired of these puzzles? I am. And of course, some are on these platforms that will sink, and others are, I'll show you where some others are. Now, this main platform that I'm on, this central platform, well, it will sink if I wear my normal boots. And as long as you wear the hover boots, it will not sink. It will not succumb to the pressure. And remember that. Now here, you just want to carefully go across and not get burned by these little pillar things, so shouldn't be too much trouble. And of course, be careful, there are fire bubbles that will pop out, and sometimes if you just stay back a little, they'll just pretty much leave you alone. Because somehow, for some reason, they just randomly go off to different locations. Alright, you can see right here on this pillar is a big old obelisk. And it looks big, it looks heavy. It looks like there's no way we can move it. No, that's not a problem now, because now coursing through our veins is the power of gold! And witness the power of gold in action! Yeah, Link will lift the obelisk up, and he will toss it over there. And underneath its former location is another silver rupee. And there are 2 silver rupees left. One is on a platform that contains a fire slug, and the other is on one of those sinkable platforms as soon as we step on them, even with the hover boots equipped. Yeah, remember this central pathway right here will not sink as long as you wear the hover boots, but those smaller square platforms will, despite having the hover boots on. So remember that. Now, we can get over to that silver rupee because when we toss the obelisk over there, it will create a makeshift bridge that will allow us to cross. Now, for some reason or another, every time that we try to make our way back after unsealing the door, we will not make the gap for some reason, or at least I haven't made the gap back. So, yeah. Well, basically, you would end up back here at the beginning. But the good news is, though, once we've collected all 5 silver rupees and the door unseals, it will remain unsealed even if we have to start all over again. So we just gotta make our way towards, well, a good enough angle so that we can use our long shot to latch on over. Whee! Alright. Make sure you go back to your normal boots now because inside will be the forest. No, fire barrier. Ugh, I already did the forest barrier. Alright, and you know the gimmick. Shoot the light arrow, and then Darunia will appear and dispel the fire barrier. Hello, brother. And like all of them tell me to hurry up. Well, I'm doing the best I can. I'm going through this thing as fast as I can. Jeez, what do you want from me, sages? I mean, I'm not Sonic the Hedgehog. I can't just stomp on these things with a spin dash. I have to actually kill things with swords and shoot things with arrows and... Ugh. Alright, I'm back to green for good this time. No more changing colors, tunics. So yeah. Of course, there's another obelisk right here, and once again, thanks to the power of gold, we toss it towards the barrier and it shatters into pieces. And that's the only way we can get into the light area. Yeah, so we definitely need those silver... What I mean silver? I mean golden gauntlets. The gold gauntlets. I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry. Anyway, this room right here, it contains a bunch of invisible enemies. Basically a big Skulltula and 3 keys. Now, of course, you can use Navi to help pinpoint their locations, or if you want, whip out the Lens of Truth. And when they're all dead, we can move forward. Now, these chests right here, they're a mixture of some random items and booby trap chests. Now, if you want to open all the chests, I'll tell you which ones to open. Well, first of all, the one that appears, you must open it because it contains a small key. And the chests going from the right are booby trap, arrows, booby trap, and item, booby trap, item. So, that is if you want to open the chests, that is. And of course, this room right here, Triforce symbol, Zelda's Lullaby. Boy, that was hard. Oh no, that's so difficult. Oh, the horror. And of course, that chest will contain another small key. Yeah, we never been to the Light Temple at all in this game, so it doesn't really have that much of a gimmick. It's just taking puzzles from other temples and other dungeons. So yeah. Anyway, this right here is another silver rupee puzzle. Guess what? It's time too. So we only have a minute to collect them all and get out. Yeah. Even after we get all the silver rupees, again, like in the ice cavern room, the one where we have to do the ice block puzzle, the timer will still continue, and unless we get out within a minute, we will lose a heart and have to do this all over again. But you can do this no problem. I mean, let the boulders hit you. I don't care. Now, this is a fake barrier room that contains a wall master. So just go through the invisible wall and we will be in the correct light barrier room. And we are going to shoot light arrows in the light barrier. Huh, how's that? Light arrows in light barrier. Okay. Oh, hi there, Raru. Raru? Ruby, Woo! And, dude, why do you have no hands again, sir? I still don't get it. Is it graphics? Or were they too lazy? Or maybe he was supposed to have hands? Maybe because monks' hands are covered inside those robes? I don't get it. Anyway, we have one more barrier to the spell. The spirit barrier. Fun. Well, let's do this. And, folks, another silver rupee puzzle. Oh, I am so excited. I am so happy. Actually, I am happy because this is the last silver rupee puzzle of the entire game. Thank God. I don't have to do this anymore. I am jumping in joy. I'm jumping for joy right now. So, of course, we have to navigate these blade traps, and there are statues around. I don't know if they're Armos. I keep forgetting because, well, I haven't played this in a while, and I don't want to find out. So I'm just going to risk getting hit by these blade traps in order to get the silver rupees and get out of here. All right. This room right here, there are a couple of fire slugs that we have to kill before we solve this little gimmick. Alright, when we hit this switch on the other side, it will produce a small treasure chest that contains bomb chews. Yep, the gimmick here is that there is an opening above that cage, and in order to strike the crystal switch by the torches, we need to use bomb chews to trigger it. So yeah, we have one final use for bomb chews. One final use that actually serves a purpose. So, yeah. Of course, make sure you position yourself properly so that you will be able to release a bomb chew and blow up that switch in a reasonable amount of time. We don't want to do this all day. Alright, good. And when we go through this door right here, we will encounter a sun switch puzzle. First, what we have to do is we have to shoot a fire arrow above to destroy the cobwebs to bring the light down. And the goal is to aim your mirror shield at the correct sun switch in order to unseal the door. And that's not too difficult because I will show you which one you must aim at. Aim for this one right here to unseal the door. The other three will burn away, and a wall master will come down from the ceiling to snatch you up. And we do not want that. We do not want that. So here we are. We are at the spirit barrier. This is our last one. We're going to shoot a light arrow. Naboo will appear, send us back to the beginning, and hopefully we'll be able to go on upwards to Ganon's tower. Hey, I am going as fast as I can, sages. Excuse me. Alright. The energy is gone. And at last, that force field protecting the tower is gone. And now we can climb up there and save Princess Zelda. But beforehand, I'm going to make a slight detour outside the castle because there is actually an obelisk that we can move. And basically, it's at the location of the Great Fairy Fountain we've encountered as a kid. And guess what? We're going to go back to that Great Fairy Fountain because there is something that we are going to get that will help us tremendously. Yes, it is a good idea either after you complete the 6 rooms or immediately after getting the golden gauntlets to go this way and get over here to this obelisk that is blocking the way into a Great Fairy Fountain. And the power of gold! So yeah. So I wonder what happens if there were platinum gauntlets. I mean, I'm doing this based off, you know, records and stuff. Silver, gold, platinum, but would platinum gauntlets make Link even stronger? Is that how it works? Is platinum more valuable than gold? But I'm rambling. Anyway, we are in the Great Fairy Fountain. We're playing Zelda's Lullaby to summon said fairy. That laugh. Well, thankfully, it's the last Great Fairy of the game. And basically, she will give us something great. She will give us something that will increase our defenses. So, yeah, give me the power. Give me that defense. And as you can see, there are now white barriers surrounding my hearts. So, what does this mean? This means my defense has doubled. So, basically, what it means is that attacks that normally take one heart off will only take half a heart. And that's amazing. Something I could have used earlier, but, again, for this boss fight coming up, we're going to need it. We will need it. So, anyway, I went to get some last-minute stuff. And then, yeah, we're going to go on in. We are going to go ascend the tower. We are going to go save Princess Zelda. We're going to beat the ever-living snot out of Ganondorf and save the day. And we'll begin in part 50. So, see ya.